What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the greatest combat sports and culture show in the entire universe, the Fight Podcast. I'm your host, Serg Vicente, and today is episode 308 of the show, keeping it rocking. And today, we have another amazing guest. This man has made his claim as the #1 contender in the bantamweight division in Bellator. He went out there, he cleaned out his side of the weight class, and you know what? We're going to find out what happens next. Joining us on the show today is none other than the super one, Raufeon Stots. Raufeon, what it do, brother?
What's up, goddamn? How the fuck?
There we go. Love it, man. Yo,
on,
brother,
man?
we are doing well. Thank you for joining me on the show. First and foremost, congratulations, man. What a performance. Beating one of the other dudes with a nasty beard. I'm telling you, man, these Dagestanis are nasty, man.
Hey.
And you went out there and did work.
He got a nasty one. Man. He was probably the most dangerous opponent, I faced today. So
I was just going to ask you about that. Yeah, man. And so for those who do not know, Magomedov goes out there. Dude was a monster. He only lost one. The only person he's lost to is Petr Yan, a guy that he also beat himself. Yeah. So after the fight, you go out there, and now officially you're on a 9-fight winning streak. After the fight, you said it for the whole world. I am the best in the world. Dude,
bro.
Speak on that a little bit. And again, when you said all the weight classes, you see Petr Yan has come back trying to talk some shit.
Yeah.
Why are you the best in the world?
I just feel like I'm the most well-rounded. I put it together so much better than a lot of guys. I've learned, from my only loss. I've learned from that, and I'm at the point where I've trained with a lot of people at the top, and I have complete confidence in myself that I'm the best bantamweight in the world. Also, Petr Yan and Magomed, they went back and forth, but it was kind of back and forth fight. You know what I mean?
They were close fights. They were really close fights.
I dismantled. I don't feel like he was ever close to like finishing the fight,
no.
Against me. And I was closer to finish the fight against him. I was super close to finishing the fight. And I feel like also Petr Yan was never close to, finishing Magomed. So, that's just how I feel. I'm very confident in myself, and I'm going to continue to be confident until somebody proves me otherwise.
Well, it's funny, man, because again, we've got a chance to know each other for the last couple of years, and I've seen that personality, but the funniest thing about it is I feel like the world hasn't seen it. And then the moment you won, it's like you had the monkey came up, and let's go. I'm let y'all know who I am.
Welcome to Raufeon.
Yeah, it was great, man. So what was it about that performance specifically for you that made it to be like, you know what? I'm gonna show out, and I'm gonna let you guys know who Raufeon Super Stots is.
I feel like this was the first time in my career that, I was like doubted. You know what I mean? I feel like this is the first time I was the underdog in a fight, and how far, I was underdog. I understand Magomed is good, but I just felt like slighted. I felt like, people didn't give me the time of day. I was just like a stepping stone to his run to the title. And I'm like, I'm no stepping stone for nobody, for no man alive. You know what I mean? So that, lit a fire under me, like, bro, I've been training to do this for 7 years now, and I've been training with the best in the world, to be the best in the world. So, so the underdog, how highly everybody, outside of MMA, the casual people, how highly they speak of, Magomed, that just lit a fire to me. Like I was just some guy in the way.
It's funny you say that, man, because it's so true. I've only seen, we've only seen domination from you. Aside from, let's keep it a bean, a fluky shot. Let's just keep it a buck.
Yes, sir. It was a fluky shot, but it was something that, I had to open my eyes too, and obviously I did that because Magomed tried to spin it back. He thought that was the way to victory.
He did. He threw that joint. He was like, well, maybe this should work.
He was the quickest I've seen somebody throw that mug. So, but yeah, aside from that, all my fights, exactly, I've been dominating, so why would you think this guy's just gonna just run over me. I can understand if you say, oh, it'll be maybe a close, but they're like, no, the Dagestani wrestling, the Russian wrestling is, you know what I mean? Tell him, Catchy Cool, tell him. He back here yelling at him. Tell him.
Well, let me ask you this, because let him know, little man. Let him know, little one. How you doing? Welcome to the Fight Pod, little one.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, man, because the fight itself, because honestly, it was, in my opinion, the most fun fight of the weekend. I mean, it was really just you guys in PFL going at it this weekend. There was no real UFC. Boxing, honest, hate to say it, was a shit show this past weekend. Don't even want to kind of even get into that. You, in my opinion, had the most entertaining, fun fight, and probably the most highly contested fight of the weekend. Did the fight itself go the way you expected it to?
Yeah, pretty much. It pretty much went how I expected to. You know, I expected to land a little more on my feet, but I mean, I landed a lot. Like looking back in the fight, like right after the fight,
landed some shots, my G.
I landed a lot of good shots. So it went kind of how I expected. I expected to like finish him. I thought it was gonna, like I said, it was gonna go one or two ways. He was gonna either come at me like really, really heavy, and I was gonna be able to finish him. But I feel like he came and I didn't get it done. You know, I just made, you know, a couple mistakes at the end. But you know, I showed that that's the other thing too. Like I'm open, you know, I showed, or I feel like I showed him my presence, and he definitely don't want no part of me no more. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, it's so wild you say that, because you can tell at certain points in the fight, and correct me if I'm wrong, but some of the points in the fight, it seemed like he had to. It's like I think you might have been stronger than he anticipated.
Yep.
Because you saw when he tries to muscle people from time to time. Yeah, and when he tried to get you, you were kind of like, nah, bro. Like, this is that American wrestling over here, bro.
For sure, yeah. And that's what I knew coming into it. I do a good job of like reading people, you know, like inherently. So like a lot of my fights, I'm able to you know, kind of predict what my opponent is gonna do or how he feels or whatever. And I felt like Magomed was looking at me like a stepping stone and like looking past me like, this black kid that's, you know, like, he's beat some people, but he's not nowhere on my level. You know what I mean? So, and I like looking at it realistically, I knew like our wrestling would probably be wasn't what, obviously I believe I'm better wrestling. I showed I was better wrestling. But then I gave him the benefit of the doubt just because some people were like saying he's like the best, you know, wrestler freaking known to man. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I knew my striking was better, but he, on the other hand, he felt like he was gonna run over me everywhere. You know what I mean? So then when he was able to, or when I was able to stuff his takedown, which I knew I would be able to, when I was able to stuff his takedown and dictate, you know, the match, I can see it in his face, like, I'm not used, like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, what's going on here, you know? So, you know, I knew I had to fight after that.
Well, look, after that, because, and I'll be honest with you, I had a 30-27 myself. People tried to give him the last round. I don't believe what he did in that last minute and a half. You were never really threatened. You were never really. So for me, I looked at it. Dude, you lost 4 minutes of the round. I'm not going to give you for the last, you know, and it was a great transition.
I'll admit to that. That was a mental lapse on my end at the end of the match after I thought I heard them USA chants, and I went for it, bro. I tried to pop his head off. And after that,
fam, it looked like it was about to happen.
For the first time in my career, I feel like my arms were like, oh, that's enough. I can't do no more, you know. And I had a mental lapse. But other than that, you know, I was on, like, there was nothing he was doing that was, you know, imposing or you know, any damage, any, you know, stuff like that. So I felt good.
Was there anything that he did that fight that surprised you?
Not really. I felt like I let him in. So the game plan was not to let him into my hips at all. But then after I started stuffing a bunch of takedowns, I let him into my hips. I felt like the curiosity got me, and I let him in, and he did a good job of taking me down when he got to the locks, which I knew he was going to be good there. But yeah, it surprised me how I thought he would be stronger, you know. And uh, also I should give him credit. On top, his pressure on top was a lot different than I'm used to. Most people like they like make it easy for me to pick either standing up or coming underneath. But he kept like a low, kind of low base to where I couldn't really pop him, or I couldn't really get under him, and I couldn't really pop up. So that surprised me a little bit, you know, but I figured it out.
No, yeah, definitely. And one thing I've noticed, and again, this is just, I think, kudos to you and your team. I've seen from when I've even started seeing you, you can see the fight IQ evolving and growing, and it's to the point now that I'm watching you truly dictate where the fight goes.
Yeah,
Very, very a la George St. Pierre.
Exactly.
When he used to sit there and go out there like, "Oh, you want to wrestle? I'm gonna wrestle you. Oh, you want to strike? Oh, I can strike you."
Exactly. And I've said that in interviews. You know, I mean, whatever I wanted to do that night, that's what I'm doing, and that's credit to my coaches. You know, my fight IQ at this point is like, I mean, pretty much they just send me out there and they say, "Hey, you know what?"
It's like a video game.
Yeah, they know what to do. They'll give me like pointers and stuff, but they taught me in such a way that I'm a very complete fighter. You know what I mean? On my own, they're there to, you know, keep me sharp and things of that nature. But yeah, they do an awesome job. My coach, Scott Cushman, I got to give him a shout out. You know, he definitely, he's like the behind the scenes guy that is there with me every day working on my techniques. So even in grappling classes,
I feel like he's like one of the unsung heroes of roof sport. I feel like people don't know him enough. You know, he definitely
he's a mad scientist with the basics, which is like awesome. Perfect for me. You know what I mean? So
that's amazing, man. Well, look, we talking about chips, right? And we already know you're absolutely the #1 contender in the weight class, and your teammate is the champ. I think you made such a great. I think that's the best thing as a teammate, as a friend. You know what, Bellator, y'all make y'all bones with these tournaments. I'll whoop all these dudes over again. What was it? Was that idea to call that tournament out something that you thought of way before that you guys have already discussed?
No, that was not something that we have discussed, like personally, me and Sergio. But for me, that was one of the reasons I came to Bellator. One of the reasons I came to Bellator is because I knew that $1 million tournament was like was an option, or you know what I mean? Like that tournament theme, or I love that. You know what I mean? I love being able, like, you fight the next guy no matter what y'all what you call it, prestige or how many followers and stuff you got. Like, you fight the next best guy. You fight the next best guy. So and then $1 million, you know what I'm saying, that have a chance at winning $1 million, like that's the lottery. You know what I mean? So
legitimate lottery.
Yeah, like literally, like so that's always been like why, or one of the reasons I signed with Bellator. And I felt like, you know, either like right before the title or having the title, like this is a perfect opportunity for me to do it. You know what I mean? It also, you know, I don't want to like fight Sergio right away. I'm willing to fight Sergio right away. But I don't, you know, I like Sergio a lot. You know, he's a great person. You know what I mean? So,
you guys have been training together for almost a decade at this point.
No, I've been training him together since I began as a pro. You know what I mean? And he's always, you know, had my back. He's always like helped me out. You know, when I wasn't in the UFC, he was like motivating me, like, "Hey man, you should be here, man." You know what I mean? Just like things like that, like, you know what I mean? So I always have his back, no matter what.
That's amazing, man. And it shows. But do you think this now? So let's say, like I said, if you guys do have to go ahead and face each other, I know, like I said, I think you might currently be in H-Town right now. Would that be like a move that you do? Would you just stay down there and train if that fight had to come to fruition?
Yeah, I would. There's a gym here that I like training at. So far, I gotta kind of see how I fit over the long term. I've been here like for like 2 or 3 days. You know, and I like it. I like it a lot. I just got to see what their long-term schedule like is, or their training regimen is on the daily basis.
Yeah.
I also like Corey Sandhagen's gym out
Oh
there
yeah. And I
in
know you've worked
Colorado.
with him before also. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Those
work
guys
with
at
him.
Elevation.
Yeah, Elevation. I like that. I like training with those guys. Those guys, I feel like I learned a lot while I was out there too.
Yeah.
And I talked to Duke them, and like if we could make it work, me training at Rufus Sport, I'm willing to make it work at Rufus Sport. You know what I mean?
That's
Maybe we put a curtain in between, and we just
yeah. Well, let's just keep it a buck though.
One of my coaches was like, we'll just train together or whatever, and then as soon as the fight come, like each of us, me and Sergio, get like 2 teammates to pick or whatever, and then we'll leave the coaches out of it. You know what I mean? And just go out in there and see, who come out on top. So.
On some legitimate, like some old school tough. Like, look, coach is gonna say step out of it.
We're gonna figure it out, and then we'll come back. We'll be cool. You know what I mean?
Well, when you think about it, though, it's not like y'all don't know each other's games.
Exactly.
So it's one of those things.
We know exactly what each other needs to do to each other, and it's not gonna change. You know what I mean? I mean, don't gonna change that much. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I know where he's good. He knows where I'm good. I know. He knows what I'm working on. He knows what he's working on, you know what I mean? Or he knows what I'm working on. So we know each other very well.
well, let's say this. You go out there, you win the belt, and let's say we do a tournament. And I think this interesting thing about the tournament is that if you win the tournament, in essence, you've cleaned out the weight class, which I think is something, and that's the thing where, for instance, AJ McKee is struggling right now because it's like, what I got to do at featherweight now? I beat everybody. So for you, if you go out there, what is the future for Super Stots? I mean, you get this belt, you clean out the weight class. Is it trying to go move up? Is it saying, what are my options and seeing? Because I think Bellator has a great thing. Obviously, not saying to leave Bellator, but I'm saying what would the future be for Raufeon Stots?
I know that Bellator is like very open to cross promotional stuff. You know what I mean? So I'd be open to any of that cross promotional. That sounds like a good time. You know what I mean?
They did it with Risen and Horiguchi.
Yeah, exactly. Like that stuff is dope, man. I like that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Feel like the sky's the limit with that type of stuff. You know what I mean?
I love that.
You get different fan bases. You know what I mean? Different people. I actually seen somebody tweeted or something like they should do 4 people from each division, or like UFC, Risen, 1, and Bellator.
Make them a tournament.
And then make a tournament. Like that sounds like a freaking dope. You know what I mean? Like what's that the tournament of power from Dragon Ball Z. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like some dope stuff to do. You know what I mean?
Dog, I think in this is it. Damn it, Dana White. It irks me because I know he ain't about that life. He ain't about that action. Because at the end of the day, because as of right now, realistically, and I think about it, the more I think about it, I think it's really true. As of right now, I think for all of MMA, bantamweight and featherweight have taken over as the best weight classes in the sport of MMA. I think those are, for all divisions, the deepest weight classes out there. But if we're really looking at the very top, I'm talking about the top 3 guys in each weight class, I think Bellator is the best at featherweight and at bantamweight right now. Where do you think that at this point?
We got good cases. Sergio also said that he'd be willing to go back to 125, and he beat the UFC champion at 125. He did.
And not only did he beat him, wasn't that close.
Yeah, it wasn't that close at all.
Wasn't that close. Yeah. And I love Brandon Moreno. I do. I think he's dope.
I mean, he's a great champion. Yeah.
But so let me ask you this. What is it about the evolution of the game today? Okay. The evolution, because it has changed, where you're seeing guys that are at bantamweight or at featherweight that are running the sport. It just seems like there's an embarrassment of riches, as they say, when it comes to those weight classes. What is it about your weight class that's so special?
I feel like just because we're small enough to like just keep freaking coming and keep going, so it's like always action. I think that's what makes us, so like.
And you're big enough to hurt each other.
And we're big enough to hurt each other. Yeah, we're big enough to hurt each other, and just balls of energy. I feel like so. That's for me. That's like what makes it exciting to watch. I mean, I'm the biggest fan of Demetrius Johnson. You know what I mean? So me
Absolutely.
watching him just like dismantle people and just like freaking run through people like the Road Runner. You know what I mean? It's like super fun to watch.
Oh, dude, he is the most underappreciated champion of all time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially now people look at what happened to him in his last fight at N1. And by the way, don't know how big that dude is, but ain't no way in hell that dude is flyweight.
Hey, that dude was huge.
That dude is my size, and I'm a $185. That dude was huge,
bro. What was his name? Serrano, Adrian Serrano.
Man, whoever he is, big boy. He's a lightweight fighting over there.
Yeah,
he's super good. Yeah. So let me ask you this, man. What and again, dude, this is your time to shine. So I'm so happy to have you on my show today, man. I appreciate you joining me, man. And truly, watching you win that fight, and it was the fight of the weekend. It was absolutely, I think, the fight of the weekend. I think it was the two best talents going head to head, in one of the best weight classes in the world. What happens now? What's going to happen going forward? What is your timetable for yourself that you want to get back in there?
Okay, so I just like I said, we just moved to Texas. So
yeah.
And this was
congratulations, by the way.
Thanks, appreciate it. We just like closed on the house today. But we
that's what's up.
Yeah, we this was my first camp away from family, so like my wife and my two kids have been here, kind of without me for this like month or like 4 or 5 weeks or whatever. So I would like, because I'm gonna have to travel at least, I think, for this next camp. I gotta figure it out or whatever, but I would like to at least take like 3 weeks to a month to just like get settled in Texas, which this is like the first time in my career that I'm ever like wanting to wait to fight or whatever. But I think I need time to just get us settled, like get our house in order. Like we still don't got no furniture or anything. Like our house is like super empty. I gotta get
lovely crib, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Got to get the house settled, and so I'm hoping like maybe the end of, what you think, like end of December, because then I'd have like around December. I'd have like 2 months or something to train. So, and then
that give you what, 3 fights this year though?
Yeah, I have 3. Yeah,
that's working.
Yeah, for sure. I like to be alive. I mean, I think since I've been in Bellator, well, this is my 5th fight, and I started December
2 months ago.
2020. So I like to fight a lot,
Of course, yeah.
But we just had the newborn, so I'm gonna take a month. I'm gonna take a month. I mean, obviously I'm gonna still train, but
of course,
I don't want to travel for like a month. My wife is like, yeah, please.
Well, dude, look, man, I couldn't be more happy for you, man. I think that like it's cool to see, because you had some buzz going before the UFC show, and then all of a sudden it's like people stop paying attention to you, and now to actually see people realizing that you are who we thought you were, essentially. You know what I'm saying? And seeing you back over there, dude, it's amazing. Before we let you out here, we gotta have the people know. Could you please tell the people why Raufeon Stots is the best bantamweight in the world? Could you please let them know?
Hey, I'm the best bantamweight in the world because I'm confident and fearless in all that I do. I dominate, excite, and finish fights. Holla at your boy.
There we go, man. There we go. Oh, and also, Nigeria, stand up. Nigeria,
stand up. Let's go.
By the way, I was dying laughing watching the picture you posted on IG today. The joint with you sitting there.
Where I fit in, bro. Let me get in.
Look, man.
Nigeria. I ain't from there, but I got some blood.
Hey, look, man. Hey, fam, you got the blood running through your veins. You from there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's the motherland. So that's what it is. But my G, I always appreciate your time. Like I said, I know, like I said, you just moving in. You trying to figure if you got the babies in the background, the wife and everybody's there. Much continued success, my brother. I know we'll keep in contact, but thank you for everything, and we'll see you next time. Congrats on killing it.
Appreciate it, bro.
Absolutely, man. You have a good one.
All right, man. You too.
Yes, sir. Peace out. Everybody, Raufeon Stots. So good to have him on the show. Definitely a friend of the show. This man has gone out here and absolutely just made a name for himself. And it's really interesting to see somebody that a lot of people counted out at one point in time. Even the UFC, they counted him out. And now he's going over there and is arguably the best fighter in his weight class, regardless on organizations. I'll be honest with you. Magomedov was a monster. He fought Peter Yan tooth and nail. A lot of people believe Peter Yan is the best bantamweight in the world. This guy beat Peter Yan. And then you have him go out here and fight Raufeon and was completely dominated. Those fights, go back and watch them. Go back and watch those M1 fights. When you look at those fights were close. Those are highly contested. This was not. This was a clear-cut victory for Raufeon Stots. I think he's the best in the world. And I'll be honest with you. If he goes out there to fight against Sergio Pettis, somebody who I'm a fan of, somebody who obviously I like him because his name is fantastic. You look at dudes like this, Raufeon Stots beats him. He's going to be the best fighter in Bellator, the best bantamweight in the world. He's the best bantamweight in Bellator, and I'm telling you right now, I cannot wait to see what continues happening for him in the future. All right, guys, this is episode 308 of the greatest combat sports and culture show in the entire universe, the Fight Podcast. Remember, listen everywhere podcasting is available: Apple, Google Play, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Check us out at thefightpodcast.com. Follow me at Serg Vicente, as well as the Fight Podcast at the Fight Podcast. All right, guys, that's about all the time we have for today. This is episode 308. I'm your boy, Serg Vicente. Thank you to our guest today, Raufeon Stots. Love you guys. I'll see you next time right here on the Fight Podcast.